Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves.
I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood cause I'm trying hard to love.
Today I'm joining you on the floor. I thought I would switch things up. Yeah, I just didn't feel like sitting in a chair for today's video. I will tell you right now, usually on my channel, you are privy to some pretty cool plants, and today you're privy to some disastrous plants. Today's video is all about plants that I wish would just die. This is a video that was requested from some of my members, and I thought it was such a great idea because I do definitely have some plants that I really do want to die, and they just won't. So I thought I would go ahead and show you guys those plants and kind of let you know why they got to the state they're in and why they're not coming back from that state. But before we do that, please make sure you guys are all subscribed down below and like this video as well, or give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. Also, if you'd like to join as a member, we have an awesome group chat on Discord, and we also have some extra content available for the 2 top tiers. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, check out the link down below. You can also find my merch there if you want to rep some Lulu's Leaves as well. But with that being said, let's get straight on into today's video. So I actually have some different genuses a part of this video, which does make sense because philodendrons are definitely at the top of my list right now. I absolutely love philodendrons and anthuriums, but typically I like plants that I can take care of. So there are actually no philodendrons a part of this video today. Sorry if you're disappointed, but at least you won't be seeing dying philodendrons. I'm going to start off with some Hoyas that have been really finicky for me, so let's just start off with a home run. Does anyone like this plant anymore? I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone who likes this plant. I think this plant is very beautiful, but it is probably the most finicky Hoya I have ever had for some reason. These leaves are really prone to rotting for some reason, and they also, I haven't watered this thing in a little while, so that is likely the reason that this one is not doing super well. But I have seen time and time again that these plants are, the white margins on these leaves end up getting nice and brown, and then the leaves just start falling off one by one. And I think that it's because it's prone to some sort of fungal issues. Again, I don't know why. The leaves are quite succulent. Oh God, this is so disgusting. Look at the dust. Can you see the dust on this leaf? This is how badly I've been neglecting it. Again, with all of these plants, it's really not their fault for the most part. Some of them, it is their fault. But this one, honestly, I kind of fell out of love with, and that is one of the main reasons it's looking so rough. But yeah, this is definitely one plant that I wish would just die already. Again, if you guys like this plant, definitely leave a comment down below letting me know what you do to take care of it and how you keep it from looking disgusting and dropping leaves all the time. Another reason I don't like this plant is because of its petioles, or no, the stem. So it's really thick, and that's not actually very common with Hoyas. Typically, their stems are a little bit more thin and you can manipulate them a little bit easier, but this one is definitely not one of those Hoyas. It has a very thick stem, so it's not easily put on a trellis unless you put it on a trellis while it's growing. And I like trellised Hoyas when they're bigger. That's enough chatting about the Hoya carrii Elbo marginata. All right, now this next one has pissed me off for some other reasons. This is actually a genus that I learned about relatively recently, so it's not one that I wanted for a really long time. I kind of saw it became available and was like, oh, why don't I try this one out? Well, now I'm regretting that. And again, this one is suffering because of my neglect, but in my defense, if this plant didn't have water immediately when it needed it, it looked disgusting. The leaves started to curl and just droop, and it was not pretty. I am talking about the Amedria medium silver. At first, this plant was just taking in so much water and it was always droopy. And then eventually I looked at the roots and they slowly started rotting away because the plant was not taking in any water for some reason. So I gave this plant root rot. It's been rooting in pumice for quite some time now, and this is all we've got. So I don't know what's going on. This has been like a few months growth, but I just have it in this little container in my grow tent, and I think the grow tent is the only reason that it's not completely dead already, but I honestly should probably take it out of there because I want it to die. I don't want to have to take care of this plant anymore. If any of you guys want an Amedria medium silver, let's make a trade. Let's make a deal. No? Does anyone want this plant anymore? In its defense, I also don't have it in enough pumice, so it keeps tipping over and it's just kind of like sitting on top of the pumice, but it's also in a tub meant for humidity. I'm just gonna hold this plant like this because I'm tired of it falling out of its pot. But you would think that even in thin air, this thing would grow some roots. But no, these are extremely difficult to root. So if you thought you wanted an Amedria medium silver, definitely think it through because this is a plant that I hope will die soon. They do look very beautiful and this is actually pretty mature. Is this spent? Okay, so I don't even know if this plant is gonna grow any more leaves because the growth point kind of melted off and it's tried to grow a new growth point a few times now. So I think that this is just a leaf now. That changes things. This might be going in the garbage this afternoon, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on that one. Next up, let's talk about another Hoya that has had a death wish in my care. This is the Hoya Begutensis. This one is actually a very beautiful Hoya. This is one that I picked up at the grand opening of Secret Garden Boutique where I work, and look at this, lovely. We love her. Anyways, actually it doesn't look so bad anymore. But I have been losing leaves left and right on this one, likely because I forget to water it, but this one doesn't seem to be as tolerant to underwatering as most Hoyas are for some reason. Even though it is actually not super thin leaved, it does seem to be a little bit more finicky. I also think that it was given too much light. I have grow lights on all of my shelves on my Hoya shelf, and they are the T8 Barinas, and those ones actually are quite intense. So if they're too close to plants, they will likely burn some plants. Some can tolerate it, some can't. This one I don't think can. And now it's just looking real ugly. This growth point is dead. So I'm just gonna take this off. I just feel like every time this thing tries to put out some new growth, it ends up just drying up and falling off. And again, likely my fault, but plants that belong to me need to be able to handle some neglect. So if it can't, it's likely going to die, unless it's in here and I love it to death. I do play favorites in my plant room, unfortunately, and ones that aren't on that list suffer. So the Hoya Begutensis here is very beautiful, has some beautiful veining, but I don't know if I actually want this one to die, but I think that it will die eventually if I don't step my game up and take care of it a little bit better. But we'll see with this one. Who knows? We'll see. Next up is actually an Anthurium. This is one that came to me with no roots. I bought it as a planted plant. It was in soil. It was expected to have roots, and then it started losing leaves and curling its leaves, and I was like, okay, maybe I should check up on the roots. Nothing. Usually when plants don't have roots, you can find the old roots that rotted off in the pot, but with Anthuriums, usually you could find those because Anthurium roots are thicker roots. But when I went to unpot this plant, there were no roots to be found. It was just a stump. There were no remains of roots, so it had been planted with no roots and sold to me. This is the clarinervium that I am talking about, Anthurium clarinervium. This leaf is still very beautiful, but I can't deal with this leaf. It just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm probably just gonna cut it off. I'm gonna do that right now, actually. Give me 1 second. All right, let's cut that leaf off so I don't have to look at it any longer. Timber! Okay, so that one's gone. Now we are left with this that I don't want to kill anymore. Anyways, this has been rooting for quite some time now in perlite, which is definitely my favorite method for rooting anthuriums, philodendrons, anything really. It has some roots. I really don't want to pull it out because my biggest problem with this plant is that it always falls over. The roots are not yet thick enough or long enough to support this plant. And with anthuriums, you really don't want to bury the, is it corm, I think, too deep in the substrate or it will rot. So my plan with this one was to kind of keep it near the surface, but again, keeps falling over. And then the roots dry up a little bit more, and then I have to put it back in and then repeats itself. So with this one, hopefully, now that I've cut that leaf off, it's a little bit lighter and it will just be able to root a little bit easier. It actually looks really adorable with one leaf. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. And now it's likely going to root easier. I'll pull it out for you guys. I want to see where it's at. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So the, I guess, primary roots haven't grown anymore, but there is a little bit of progress. If you see here, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of a secondary root there coming off the main root here. But these roots grew completely in my care, so yeah, it literally had nothing. So imagine this without even those roots. And that's what I got. Okay, this turned into like, wow, I love this plant. Look at it rooting. We did kill off this leaf. So we did kill something on this plant. All right, so the next plant on this list is another Hoya. And this is one that you guys kind of saw in my recent videos. This one is currently in my grow tent as well, also in that humidity tub. So, I mean, it should be thriving, right? But no. This is a plant that I was told was going to be pretty finicky though, so I can't really blame anyone but myself for buying it. I'm talking about the Hoya. It's either the enduensis or the but I think it's the enduensis. Anyways, this thing has basically just sat there and looked wrinkly since I got it, and I put it into lechuza pond so that I could keep a little reservoir for it, and it hasn't seemed to help much, but I'm hoping that if I keep it in that humidity tub long enough, it will become happy. It's in this cute little pot that I actually was given from Leanne at Springwater. She gave me this beautiful pot, but I'm really not super happy with the plant, unfortunately. It's not her fault, it's just the fact that it's a fussy plant. She even warned me that it would be fussy, but I still got it because I was bullheaded. But yeah, this is a plant that I don't think will stick around for much longer, or even if it does in that tub, I think as soon as I try to take it out, it's just going to die again. So I don't know, we'll see with this one. If I end up keeping it alive, I end up keeping it alive. If not, it'll just be chilling in my greenhouse. I don't even know what to say. It's just sad plants. The final plant on this list is actually one that I'm really loving. I have two of these plants. This one is not doing well, but the other one is. I'm talking about this Elbo syngonium. This is a very low variegated Elbo syngonium, so that could be one of the reasons why it's not my favorite, but it's also slowly dying for some reason. This is what the leaf looks like. I imagine this might actually just be from light damage. Maybe that Mars Hydro light, even though it's so far away, is a little bit too strong for this plant. But it also kind of looks like it has spider mite damage, even though I can't find spider mites anywhere on it. So yeah, I mean, it's dying slowly, and the roots actually look okay, and it's really stuck in there. So it has some good roots, but it hasn't been growing. There's a little growth point there that you can see, but it hasn't done anything for at least a month now. So I don't think it's very happy, and I'm not very happy with it either. So I think this one might just slowly die, or maybe I'll take a cutting and try to promote some growth on this one. or maybe I'll try to air layer it, but yeah, it's just not the cutest. I don't know, it's really hard to talk about plants that you don't like. It's really easy to go on and on about the plants that you do like this beautiful monstera beside me, but when we talk about plants that we want to kill and just wish were dead, there aren't many nice words we can say about them. So this is the Elbo syngonium that's not doing well, and yeah, that's about it. All right, guys, I'm sorry if that video was super boring. It was actually kind of hard for me to make because, again, all of these plants are not really plants that I have been enjoying lately, and I've kind of forgotten about them, so they've been neglected for sure. Let me know if you did like this video. I'm sure you guys all have these guilty moments of just neglecting some of your plants. If you have plants at home that you're neglecting, definitely leave a comment down below telling me what plant that is or what plants those are, and I will let you know if we're on the same page. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to take all of these plants right now, give them a little bit of TLC and one last hurrah before I really let them die, but hopefully I can find a newfound love for them like I did my clarinervium in the middle of this video. Like, how cute is that now, right? I don't know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you did enjoy this video. I have a goal to hit 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, April 21st. So if we could make that happen, you would make me the happiest girl in the world. So yeah, if you aren't subscribed, definitely make sure that you go hit that button down below. But that is going to be it from me, guys. I hope you have such a great afternoon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!